All right, folks, here we are. Time for another Wednesday night New Zealand mini painting stream. Maybe first off, we will, as is customary, shout out the royalty-free audio we got going on. Then, as is customary, we'll pour ourselves a beer. Oh, thank you, Jesus. This is McLeod's New Zealand Fresh Hop IPA. I don't know. Let me pour it out and then I'll. Look at the can again. This is their 40-acre fresh hop unfiltered India Pale Ale. Very good beer. I've had it before. There it is. It's nice. Not a head. It's a good brew. So it's been a rough day. I don't know. We're gonna start out painting. Get some odds and sods. Oh, someone just diadems, man. You didn't have to do that. Trish Talker. Hey, folks. Diadems. Thanks for that. Is that a bit? Didn't have to do that. It's been a difficult day today. I just didn't have my mojo. Didn't get the work done. I need to get done. Thank you for that. How you doing, Diadems? It is, D&D. It is stormy. Diadems is a bit later. Yeah, Diadems, tonight in New Zealand we have Tropical Cyclone Tam bearing down upon us. Not really bearing down upon us. I'm sure it's been downgraded from a tropical cyclone. This is a cyclone that passed through Fiji. I think it's western side, and now it's off our northwest coast. It'll go down to the Tasman Sea, and it's just going to make it really windy and rainy. It's supposed to be really windy tomorrow, like 130-kilometer gusts. What's that, 70-mile-an-hour gusts, something like that? Yeah. Really appreciate it, Diadems. You don't have to do that. I'm not wearing your shirt tonight. I should, though. So tonight, some odds and sods. I'm going to finish this door. Probably go back to this horse that we were doing last week, right? It's not done. I have got a kind of cool thing I'll show you, the two of you, special people. Well, I've got an outhouse. I need to. So when I'm finishing a reel of filament and I can't do a big print, you know, I do a lot of little tiny things to get rid of the filament before I change filament reels. So I printed an outhouse. I haven't painted it yet. And I printed out this blacksmith shop, which I haven't primed or anything with, but I'll take the roof off. So it's got all kinds of stuff in it. And it's got a little forge right there, right? And this slots on there like that. It's got a beam over here for the roof, but it doesn't really matter. Got this little set of tools, tool bench. It's got a little anvil, a stump, a little bellows. Far out. Little bellows and a bucket. This little blacksmith shop. They do. Adventurers need their privacy when they go into the bathroom. Totally. So one of these days I will get that guy done. Yeah. Well, you know when we do the occasional city, town or city scenes outside the pub, now we have an outhouse that we can use outside the pub. They do have. There is. Trish Talker, if you search up Mimic Outhouse, you'll get it. They do make those minis. I've seen them. Yeah. I know, that'd be horrifying, wouldn't it? Jesus. Yeah, so I did not work at the office today. I worked at home. It was too crap. I'm not going to remember. I had an online meeting. I don't want to ride my motorcycle in this crappy weather. Tomorrow, too, I have another online meeting tomorrow afternoon, but I'm just going to work at home because, good Lord, it is Tomorrow's supposed to be even worse. I have printed this. I can't even show you this thing I printed, I don't think, but maybe I can. I'm in the middle of printing this thing. This is this kind of like wizardy tower thing. See, it's like this massive. It's only the top part of the tower thus far. It's like, you know, top of it on this big, and it's got these stairs that go up to the tower. It's pretty easy print actually. It's a really easy print. It's just a couple of giant block pieces, but yeah, you know, each of those pieces takes 15 hours, so print one out overnight during the day, put it together, print another one out, put it together. Over the course of a week, you kind of get this massive thing. Okay, let's work on doors. I want to get these double doors done. I like them enough that I want to get them done. So, hope you folks in New Zealand are keeping warm and dry. Dynames, what are you up to tonight, anyways? I need to get more bits and dole them out to streamers. I haven't done that for a while. Okay, for these doors, I need hardware. Right, I kind of will do brass, ring pulls, and black is always a good color for this kind of stuff. It's black, but I'll do a kind of brass stuff. Oily steel. Oily steel is also good. Yeah. Oily steel and brass for the ring pulls. I'll do that. So Trish Talker, did anyone else respond on Discord about confirming? I think it's like everyone but maybe Alex can do Sunday. Sorry, Friday. I'm just gonna screw up my entire. No, it's fine. Just that tomorrow I'm gonna work on work stuff over the weekend. This weekend because I have to. But I think tomorrow I got some work stuff to do, and then I gotta do D&D prep. And Friday play D&D, and Saturday, Sunday, Monday I will mix in relaxation with work because I got lots of work still to get through. So I'll be doing that for the whole Easter weekend before we all get in the plane on Tuesday. Seriously. Hey, Magical Hack! Hey, Magical Hack, thank you for that raid. A couple of you who are here, who are not in Magical Hack's coterie already, you can go hang out and follow Magical Hack. Magical Hack, what were you doing tonight? You were making something or playing something? Or both? This is our normal Wednesday night New Zealand mini painting stream. Magical Hack, I want to say you're coming at us from Hawaii. Is that right? You're working on a little owl wizard. Hey, if you, cool. If you have pictures of what you're working on, and you want to show them on the Discord there. If you go to that Discord, there's a channel in the Discord called Mini Pictures. People post their mini pictures there or their project stuff, and we can put them up on this screen, and we can all ooh and ah over them. Got the Prime. You're in Ontario? Why do I think you're in Hawaii? That's about as far from Hawaii as you can get. Not as far, but you know, it's pretty goddamn far. Why do I think you're in Hawaii? Well, I've been to Ontario and I've lived in Hawaii for a long time, so funny. My apologies for saying you were from Hawaii when you're not. Why do I think you're from Hawaii? That's pretty funny. Okay, I need a paintbrush for this. I need all my paintbrushes actually. Magical Hack does lots of crafting, lots of gaming, mecha stuff. If I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, lots of crafting, really cool stuff. Maybe it's ridiculous. Yeah, that's right. That could be it, honestly. Okay, put some packet towels. I just started. I've been going for only a couple. I mean, this is 15 minutes, so we're just still getting our shit together here tonight. But if you put something in that Discord if you want, and if you know, it's totally fine. But if you go to the Discord and you go to the mini pictures channel, you'll see lots of mini pictures that people put in. And what I do then is I put these on screen, and we all ooh and ah. But if you don't want to as well, that's absolutely understandable. So I'm just trying to what brush to use, and this is the end of the brush. So tonight we're just painting some doors. Those of you who came in with Magical Hack on Wednesday nights in New Zealand, which is where we're streaming from, even though I don't sound like it, this is where I live. We do mini painting on New Zealand Wednesday nights, and on New Zealand Sundays midday we play D&D, usually live around the table in our Greyhawk base campaign. However, this being Easter weekend, it's crazy different. So we might do a stream Friday afternoon, Thursday midnight North America. I don't know, something like that. Oh, there it is. I see Magic Hack. I just put the picture in. Awesome. Let me check some out. Awesome. Where's that guy? Oh, little owl, you said. Nice. Lethal Shadows. This is Lethal Shadows. They make paints and minis, right? I'm just looking at the pictures on your little maker mat there. Nice. Let me save this one. So it looks like you've got them all blocked out, kind of thing, right? We gotta get this guy up there. Takes me a second. There he is. That's what Magical Hack was working on. He says an owl what? An owl. A little owl wizard. Okay, yeah, I see. Huh. Nice. He's got little, like, either golden brown feathers or those are bracers on his arms. Yeah, nice. Like his hat. Very good. What I want to ask about is that's not a Lethal Shadows mini. I just see a Lethal Shadows picture there on the back on your mat. What I want to ask about is your mini stand. What the F is that contraption that you've made to hold minis to paint on? To paint. What is that thing? Okay. Oh, really? Okay. So how does it work? It's got a twist knob which tightens something, but it's not. It looks like your mini is just probably set on blue tack or something like that, right? I let my eyes on it. How does that thing? What is it? How do it work? Yeah, looks like okay. But is it a vise so that you can actually vise bases in that handle from Lethal Shadows? But you have papered over the vise a bit to some degree, right? Put something over it, and then just stuck something on top. The paint scepter from the store. Paint scepter. Is it good? I've been using this guy from Citadel, obviously forever. And occasionally I want to buy the extra large holder, Because this guy can only do up to large mini bases, uh, not giant mini bases, whatever the next step up is. Had this for a long time. It's all worn out, worn out. But people also have those mini holders that have little like kind of shepherd's crook things going up like that, and I guess it's to hold like this. I don't know. I've never used that kind of thing. So you mainly use it for one-off meetings for batch. What's the RGG 360 handle? Now I want to look that up. RGG 360 handle. Oh, red grass. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, that thing. I've seen people use that one too as well. Yes. So you can spin it, kind of. I guess. Yeah. I just looked up online. You can spin it with your thumb. Is that kind of how that works? And how does it affix minis to the handle? Do you have to just use blue tack or ticky tack, or is there a vise on it? Because I like vices more than blue tack because I don't know. I feel like I kind of overdo it. So I've just shoved in some old filament into these door handles to paint these doors, but I can just use my fingers here. Caps come off. They have their own sticky tack. And does it? Hey, 40Kaj. Holy shit! It's been a while, 40Kaj. How are you doing? 40Kaj, if you got any recent stuff to show off in the Discord, put it in there and let me know. I was talking with Magical Hack and about mini holders for painting. Those you don't know, 40Kaj is a DM and painter extraordinaire based out of Sweden. Good to see you, man. So does it wear out? Does the ticky tack on that stuff wear out? It must, right? I should be going down towards myself as they teach you in mini painting school. Pull the brush towards you in a straight line, if possible. That works. Just a couple minutes before next. Okay, no worries, 40Kaj, but good to see you, man. My schedule's been kind of screwed up lately. We have changes coming to our D&D game. One of our players is moving to a different country, etc., etc. Lots going on. But as always, we persevere. Keep playing and painting. What about the RGG handle on the first two caps I got? Oh my god! So it's lasted for? Are you saying it's lasted for 8 years? Because that's plenty of time. Seriously. Okay, yeah. Okay, so they never wear out essentially, in a reasonable lifetime. I never. Gosh, I've been using the same. What kind of brushes do you use, Magical Hack? Do you use nice brushes or kind of shit brushes like I do? I don't use shit brushes. I just don't use sable brushes. That's all. Still, that's a pretty good half a lifetime. You know what I mean? Seriously. Okay, so just painting these doors. I, a while back, painted the door itself and washed it and dry brushed it. Now I'm painting the hardware. And they're to go in this Fat Dragon Games double door tile piece. That's all. I'll set that one aside and do this one now and go back to that. So you use nice brushes. I mean, these brushes aren't bad, but they're basic. They're synthetic, totally. Wolf hair. I've never heard of a wolf hair brush. Honestly, tell me about a wolf hair brush. I want to know. What is? So I work at a university, and there's an art store right next to the university, which caters to all the art students at university. And I do get like I think all staff get like a 10% discount, no matter if you're an artist or not. So I often use that. So maybe should I try a sable brush at some point? I mean, this is a size 0. Size 0 and 2 are kind of the basic sizes for me. Should I just try this? Should I just kind of like try a sable brush sometime for fun? But you say wolf hair is better than synthetic, but not as good as sable. Is that what I'm kind of interpreting this to be? Okay, slightly firmer. I don't want to say better, just firmer. I guess first I gotta try sable because everyone talks about sable brushes. Hmm. So 40 says no image at the moment. Have one of the best encounters ever though. The league players had an arc and fight against like elemental extraordinaire. I can make it pretty. I can show the rules for it. It was so tense and close. Wow, that's awesome. 40 gosh, those are the best times. When everyone is on edge. That's the best. That's kind of the idea. That's the ideal. Okay, there's that door, the hardware. Now we'll go back to the door, the other hardware side. Now then I'll be doing not done yet. I gotta do the pull handle and the pins in that hardware, and then I'll wash it in known. And then I'll do tiles on the door, and then I'll put it together. Then maybe we'll go to a horse. Okay, keep them clean. I do have brush soap back there. I'm not a very good brush cleaner though. I have to admit. I mean, yeah. Maybe I seem to really kind of not destroy, but totally kind of make munted synthetic brushes pretty often after having them. So I don't know if it's the problem with the synthetic brush or my own poor use of them, combination of the two, whatever. You probably can't see this very well, sorry. Just because I'm holding this guy. Not that you're coming here for the greatest painting tips. I know that to be the case. That one right there. Kind of effed it up. brushes are, think about the true painting masters of today and ages gone before. They had to make do with and what they produced. Pretty impressive. Okay, I keep those suckers clean. Oh, jeez. Hard for me. I mean, I clean my brushes in with brush soap and water every time I use them, pretty much. With rare exception, do I not do that? I can't. Okay, I can't. I'm probably not going to be getting new brushes until I return from my trip overseas next week, so which is fine. But maybe in a couple weeks I'll try out this. I'll try this new kind of like. I'll see if I'll try some new brushes, some natural hair brushes, and see how they do. Hmm. Okay, I want to give it a try. Natural hair brushes plus. I also got to get an airbrush. I want to try an airbrush, damn it. I wonder. If an airbrush, how that will work for me. Put these things. No, I got them. Either anyone out there use an airbrush and worth it. Tips, tricks. I mean, I would get the kind of I would start with the entry level, which is still like Kiwi dollars. Entry level airbrush and compressor. Probably looking at $600 all up. So in USA Earth dollars, that means 350. That sound about right? So you do magical hack. You do have an airbrush then, priming and varnishing. Do you use it for doing? I would like um, I usually prime with rattle cans. I prime with a spray can. Um, do you do shadowing with an airbrush? Like I've seen some minis are pretty they put they base coat it with the airbrush prime base coat and then do a series of shadowing with the airbrush and then get out the brush. That seems to be like a pretty reasonable approach. Okay, got those doors painted right there. Now I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to paint the buttons on it. Well, decent investment. It's just when I have $600 laying around doing nothing, which I can just make it happen, but whatever. $600 could also go to something else, you know. So a basic compressor airbrush from Anchor. So is that really okay? Because I was looking at battery operated compressor. Really? You know, I was looking at what I'm talking about. I'm looking at like a compressor with a tank. You know, so um, it has reserve pressure, so you're not always drawing. It's not always compressing every time you are activating the airbrush. So a compressor with a tank, and I was looking like at a basic mid low level Patriot or Badger, whatever, you know. I think that setup all up was perhaps $600 or $700 Kiwi. So if you're in Ontario, fuck, I don't know what that is, but and yeah, so you did use the no offense the cheaper version because you do see the super cheap versions, right? Super cheap compressor, super cheap airbrush, all up a package for 300 Kiwi, 200 US dollars. And I'm like, really? Is that just going to be shit? Or is it a good thing to use for a couple of years before upgrading, perhaps? Hmm. And so your suggestion is it could be a good route to go that way. Well, at least you did. I'm trying. I don't mean to put words in your mouth. That's a plausible route. 120 Canadian. Yeah, 120 Canadian, $100 US, $180 Kiwi. What is the exchange rate? Canadian to US dollars. So I grew up near the Canadian border, essentially in the Seattle area. And in the 80s and 70s, it was like 70 Canadian cents to the US dollar. 70 US cents to the Canadian dollar. To the loonie. 40 cars, do you have an airbrush too? Do you use one, I guess? I'm just thinking about using it mostly for, I guess, priming, but also shadowing. So let me show you a mini that I bought, painted. Oh, do I have it out here? Oh, I don't have it out here. Fuck. Oh, it's such a good mini. Wait, I'm coming. What's on the fucking bottom of all my fucking minis? Yeah, yeah, I see it there. On the very effing bottom. Oof. So this mini I bought off a guy here in New Zealand, a guy called Interstellar Simeon. His Instagram page is awesome. It's a Reaper Orc. I mean, obviously, super nicely painted, right? And look at this freaking. This is beautiful paint job on this guy. Gorgeous. So I bought it. But this is not my paint job, right? He obviously airbrushed the shadows. See, like that, right? So he airbrushed that kind of rusty shadow in. And I thought, oh, that just makes it. So I'm sure he airbrushed it in that blue, and then airbrushed it in that shadow color down like that. I just think, wow, what a cool effect. I'm not saying I could even do it, but that seems to be something you can only do with airbrushing. Well, not only do with airbrushing, do more easily with airbrushing. Is that right? So your airbrush, I haven't used that much. I've got a compressor, probably switched a lot of things. Okay, yeah. Ninja, I'm not sure opinion of him. Very sorry. Oh, I don't know. I have no opinion about any reviewers, honestly. I've looked at some airbrush review kind of things, yes. When I kind of think about it, seriously think about spending the money on one, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet, and I really am not going to do that anytime soon. I don't know. Father's Day gift, Christmas, maybe. Okay, see you later, 40 Cops. Thanks for stopping by. Good to talk to you again. Um, Minjon. Okay, I'll check it out. My doors. I'm gonna now do the buttons on those doors. I'm actually gonna go to the loo really fast. Ooh, my professor gift. Yes, when I get promoted, I'll get. I'll buy myself an air compressor and an airbrush. Actually, I've told my family that when I get promoted to professor, we'll buy a new fucking car. That's more on the lines I'm looking at. I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm back. Can airbrush my new car? But yeah, airbrush. But Trish Talker's been in this room here where I do this stuff. I couldn't conceivably airbrush on stream. I don't have the space for it. Well, I would need a extractor fan box, right, to do it on stream, and I don't have the space here right now. So I would airbrush stuff in preparation for, um, you know, my Wednesday night painting stream. But also, of course, I do paint not on stream. So um, this friggin' thing, for example. So I could do that. Yeah, it might happen. I don't know. Like I said, 400, 600 New Zealand dollars. You know, I can always do something else with that. Because right now, my paint setup is fine. I paint minis. I got lots. I do a decent job. I got brushes and paints, blah, blah, blah. I guess I'd say mini painting isn't my prime directive, right? Um, I'd say I'm a D&D guy more than just a mini painter, so I don't know if I need to spend them. That's what I was thinking about. I'm not a professional mini painter. I need to spend the money on that? I don't know. Because now I'm painting the buttons on this thing bronze. Trish Tucker Lily tonight is at work at the Olive on Scenic Drive, so she works there really casually, which is good for her, I think. But she's working there tonight, and I think also Saturday and Sunday this weekend. Nice for her to get a bit of money. She's like, realizes it's nice to have money. Oh, they went really well. It's still a little clunky. Thanks for asking. A little clunky learning again how to DM first edition, and I think I'm swear to God, I think I'm gonna like ask our group if they want to try first edition D&D. It's much more um it's much more free form, meaning there are less rules about specifically what PCs can do. So first edition is largely there's no proficiencies, so to speak, in skill checks. Um, like I'm not gonna say make an Arcana check or make a history check, blah blah. Melee combat is much more free form. You cannot like I don't know. Well, it'd be certainly fun to try. Fun to try and see what people think about this rule set. I mean, it's not better. It's hard to objectively say some edition of D&D is better than another. But for me, of course, it's admittedly partly nostalgia. That's the game I grew up with, and so I think about it. No, that's it. That's the game I grew up with. But I'm sure people will at least be willing to try. Um, it is. It's like playing Shadow Dark or Call of Cthulhu. Exactly. It's a different set of rules. Um, I would say, I'm sure I said this before. In broad terms, let's say comparing, and first edition of D&D and second edition D&D are sometimes kind of lumped together, and they are quite similar. But there's differences. But I'd say those early versions of D&D, the main difference they have in comparison to fifth edition is that, excuse me, fifth edition rules give much more, I don't want to say advantage, but player choice and player abilities and player um, options are much more specific in fifth edition. In earlier editions, players had fewer options for individualization and specialization. That's all. And so I think players had to depend more on each other. So, for example, um, in earlier editions, thieves, or what are now called rogues in fifth edition, are far and away better at doing things like listening at doors and picking locks and finding secret doors, right? Listen at doors, finding secret doors, picking locks, etc. Thieves did that, and no other class did it. And so you needed to depend upon everyone in the party more, to have this, ability that not everyone can do. And that made party dynamics different. Parties were more important than individuals, I would say, in earlier editions. Rangers, for example, in earlier editions, are really the only kinds of classes that can track stuff. Rangers are really important in first edition D&D, especially outdoors stuff. Um, Without a ranger, you're kind of effed. Seriously, if you're outdoors in first or second edition. Anyway, yeah, mix it up. Something to think about. The game went well. I'm the first edition game. They are in the Sheldamore Valley. They're in the borderlands between the Duchy of Jeff and the Grand March, and they are investigating. They're investigating a series of strangenesses and disappearances in the Rushmores, a march. Sorry, a marsh, not a march, a marsh on the boundary between the Grand March and the Duchy of Jeff. So yeah, it's pretty fun, and they're doing a good job. And yeah, I mean seriously, it's playing with my friends I've known since I was in year 4, and so we talk a lot of shit about life. Like, remember when blah 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 blah. Yeah, so that's pretty fun. Okay, just painted these doors. I will wash them in Nono in a second, um, after they dry it. But in the interim, I'll just paint up the tile piece they're going to be attached to, right? Yeah, it's pretty nostalgic. So I mean, seriously. So we're playing over Discord, and it's 5 of my 4 guys I grew up with since like year 4, and one guy who came to our hometown like in 2001. So we were already all in university and didn't know him, but he's made friends with some of my old friends from still live in that hometown. And so um yeah, so as a couple guys like go over to one guy's house in Port Townsend, and like the 4 of them play on disc. They have a couple laptops, and then there's another friend of mine who's in Seattle area, so he's coming in on his own laptop on Discord, and it's me here, and so we just have a couple. We use Owlbear Rodeo, the same BTT I've used for Shadow Dark in the past. It's pretty fun. I'm still a little wary because I'm kind of clunky with the rules and the game, and like moving the gameplay forward in first edition, kind of like I am with Shadow Dark too. Shadow Dark, I'm not a smooth DM because I'm still trying to figure out how to do it best when I played Shadow Dark, but um, it's still pretty fun. Okay, I've got that, and I think I have some Talite Ochre up here. Do I have Talite Ochre? Tau? Hello, Tau. There's my Tau. So I got Baylor and Tau, and I'll put them on this piece, and then we'll wash all that stuff, and we'll put together, and then we'll maybe finish up a horse. I realized I just walked away. Well, I'm going to walk away again for a second. I'll be right back in 30 seconds timing. I'm back. Oof. Okay. So, loyal viewers, ready for a magical hack? Thanks for coming here. Moderators Trish Talker and Diadem, thanks for being here. I'm gonna pour myself another beer. This is Montanita West Coast IPA from Urbanaut. I'll pour that in a second. I'm going to paint up this tile piece for the double doors we just painted as well. And I'll wash it all in Nolan oil. And I'll dry brush this piece at least. The doors have been dry brushed pretty well already. Here's a door. Looks pretty okay. Horses back here I can deal with if I want to. All right. Let's pour this beer and then we will get to work on this tile piece. So Trish Talker, I got to talk to my buddy about Denver and spending at least a couple hours at a D&D store. Maybe Saturday? I might skip out on Saturday. Go to a D&D store. We also have to go to Casa Bonita. We've got to go to Casa Bonita for dinner one night. I'll get John Dudgeon to take us there. You meet John Dudgeon? Holy shit. John's a piece of work. That'll be fun. So I went to grad school with John Dudgeon. My final undergraduate year at the University of Washington, that was one of his first MA years. We took classes from Dillon together. Then he came out to UH and did his PhD with Terry Hunt, where I was doing my PhD. Oh my God. We spent a lot of time together, John Dudgeon and I. I haven't interacted with him much, though, in the recent past, which is too bad. Okay, we're going to paint this guy. Put those doors on it. I've looked up already. There's at least 3 or 4 D&D shops in Denver metro area. Maybe 3 I saw. But I'll ask my friend Will Dvorak, what's the best one for X? Like, I would like to go to one that's got lots of, not just the standard WotC stuff, but third-party stuff and earlier edition stuff. So find a place like that and ask him which one to go to. When do you... So Trish Talker, you get in on Tuesday night? Where are you staying? I'm staying at an airport hotel near Denver Airport on Tuesday night. Wednesday, I'm going to stay at an Airbnb with Julie Field near the conference center. Are you getting there Tuesday night at the conference hotel? Okay, Tuesday night. Okay, awesome. It's either early, yeah. So Tuesday, like I said, Tuesday night I'm out by the airport because we don't get into like 8 o'clock at night. I get at 8 o'clock at night like that. So I'm staying at near the airport, a nice hotel, actually near one of the train stations. Wednesday morning, I'll take the train in, hook up with Julie, drop my stuff off at the Airbnb, go back to the conference venue by Wednesday afternoon, something like that, and maybe we can all go get beers and drinks or something Wednesday night. I have Melinda's session is Friday friggin' 8 a.m. I'm the first paper. Thursday I have a different session on chiefdoms. I think it's an afternoon session that I'm a part of. That's my Thursday. But we'll get it all sorted for certain. Yeah, maybe Wednesday night, just some beers and dinner, and then collapse. So I'm not a discussant. Well, whatever. In the Melinda session, I'm not a discussant per se, because I'm a paper author and speaker in another session, and I accepted that session first. And SA rules are you can only be a paper author and deliverer once, right? So Seth asked me, he said, hey, do you want to do this? I said, yeah, I'd love to give a paper in the session, but I can't be a paper because I'm a paper in a different session. And so he said, okay, we'll just make you a discussant, and you can give whatever paper you want. So that's why it just says discussant. But no, I'm given a proper paper. I'm not. I'm not acting as a discussant. And I assume Seth will say something like that at the start of the session. Because yeah, I'm not. I'm not giving. I'm not. I'm not going to discuss other guys' papers. No. Give them my own paper. Yeah. That'll be super fun. Super fun. God, friggin' party afterwards. It's gonna be a riot. Gotta introduce you to Tim Reith and those guys so you can have working for ERE as a fallback. When they worked for ERE, I worked for ERE, Thane worked for ERE. At Market Things, hot tub party, yeah, it'd be awesome. Tog's optional. Yeah, you do. You've got to work at ERE for a little while at least. Oh shit, but who else worked there? Oh my god, what's her name? What year was she compared to you? Her name Sophie? Um, no, that's not it. She married the dude who has an American passport, and they've been divorced, and he joined the Marines, and God, what's her name? Oh, it was Sophie. It was okay. That is her name. Okay, yeah, yeah. She worked at UAE for a while. Didn't work out. Not that much. And she married that guy, and then divorced him. I would say simply got her green card and then divorced him. And Miller, that's it. Miller, yeah, that's it. What year were you compared to her? Like 2 years after, or 1 year after, or if you know, and or if I might ask. Ox. Darby knows her. I don't know if Darby was there or not. I know Tim Reese and Alex Morris will be there. So I've talked about it. So and Seth Quintus will be there. So it'll be good times. It's something that's hard to. It must be hard to be a PhD student in New Zealand. Only because when we were grad students in America, or even when I was at UW, you could like a conference on the West Coast. You could say, okay, we're all going to get in our car and we're going to drive 17 hours to this conference. And you just like drive, everyone just takes a shift driving. You drive there in like 2 days, totally destroyed, but you get there anyways. Um, we used to do that kind of stuff. Well, definitely, we'll sort you out, Trish Talker. We'll make sure that everyone knows who you are by the end of the conference. Even if it's because you acted totally inappropriately at the hot tub party because you were drunk off your ass, we'll make sure everyone knows it was you. No, who knows? There's been a couple incidences that I know of. Yes, that I was not to say a part of, but was party to. Yeah. Wow. Strange days. When Lewis Binford was old dude at like at SMU or whatever it was. He married one of his grad students, a woman named Amber, and I met her at a massive SAA party. And I remember just talking about like, dude, you're like my age, and you're Lou Binford's wife. Isn't that's super weird slash gross? I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. Oh, they loved each other. I shouldn't be so negative about it. Or just assume the worst. I shouldn't assume the worst. Hey, where's Octopus Genitalia? When does he get back from Monaco or wherever he is? Not Monaco, Malta. He owes me some comms. I owe him some comms too. Okay, I want to paint this thing right here. Okay. How do I do that one? I do one here. Hey, Tristar, do you know what work that Alex is doing in Tauranga? She said she's gonna, she might not make Friday because of work in Tauranga, so she must be doing contract work for somebody down there. I don't mean to pry. If it's not public knowledge, it's fine. I was just curious. Like, well, okay, she's Tauranga shop. She's doing something for somebody, Caroline Phillips or somebody or whatever. I think that's enough tiles on that piece. Oh, I don't know. Okay, free cam. I don't know. Okay, we now got the tile piece done. This thing that holds the doors. The doors are done, but I'm gonna wash the doors, the hardware in known oil, and then the piece in known oil too. So But you'll have to. Oh no, I gotta wash the piece of no and then dry brush it. So in the interim, I'm gonna wash these doors right now in Noan oil. Then just let them sit, and then I'll let this dry a bit more and wash it. And then I'll dry brush it, put them together. In the meantime, I'll finish the horse. There he is. But I will get my homemade Noan oil out and see if I can use that on the hardware. I know I can. I'll pot out. So washes are typically, they are an ink, which is pigment. They are a medium, which is the stuff in paint that pigments are put into to make the paint. They are a flow improver, which makes them adhere to surfaces less, reduces surface tension, and water. And so I've been trying to make my own washes these days by looking at recipes for things like very kind of famous and good washes like Noan oil by Citadel, and of course Agrax Earthshade, a brown wash by Citadel. Trying to make my washes to save money. And when you're washing things like giant castles, you don't want to spend $100 on wash. This right here is some homemade wash, Noan oil-esque. That's probably plenty, fine. What amount I have there. So I'm gonna wash these guys. I'm gonna get. Sorry, I should have done that way. My little makeshift holders. Kind of some filament rejects I have to create holders for these doors. Yeah, there we go. That's for one. Into the other. Yeah, okay. Now I can paint these guys with my Noan oil, my homemade Noan oil. Somebody's for Clough, okay. Yeah, so hopefully Alex can be here on Friday. Can't do, I really hope she can. Should probably use proper Noan oil for this. It's such a small thing. But whatever, I already started. I already poured it out. So Trish Talk, are you reading Wheel of Time? Do you watch the Prime, the series on Prime at all? I think I told you I read those first three books like a couple of years ago. And it's kind of, I mean, it's not that bad. I just stopped because I just wanted to change the pace, right? There's like 15 of the goddamn books, and so I was like, I'm not gonna read 15 books in a row. I'm gonna take a break for a while. And that was a couple of years ago. I haven't gone back, and I'm sure I'll go back someday. Just haven't yet. Okay, so yeah, I used, I'm gonna go like this, I think. Let's see if I can balance it right there. Okay. Trying to get my doors done. Thanks to you viewers who are here on a New Zealand Wednesday night. Doing a variety of things for painting doors. We're going to paint some horses in a second. These are Fat Dragon Games terrain dungeon double doors. I use a lot of Fat Dragon Games terrain in our games, which we stream live on Twitch on New Zealand Sundays. Sunday. That door on this side. And then both those, that door both sides. Must set it up there too. Okay, I got that. No, I might use that mill now in 2 seconds on this. On the door tile I have there. That tile. Yeah, so I gotta wash this tile. It's not totally dry enough yet, so I'm not gonna wash it just yet. I gotta wash it and dry brush it before I put those doors on. So, look at it. You can be a bit early, it's all right.
Yeah, I'd rather be early, I mean, because I don't know what this wind is really strong.
Yeah, okay, dog's still outside? Probably right there. Okay, all right. Okay, back to the horse. What have we done tonight? We've painted this tile piece, right? We painted the doors that go on it. There they are, over there drying. The tile piece is also drying before I wash it in Nuln. And it's got to dry before I can dry brush it. So I'm going to go back to this horse. I started last week, and I needed to finish his saddle. I started his saddle, and now I need to finish it. And I will in a second. I'm going to a quick bio break again. Come back and finish him. Maybe even start on the other horse. All right, I'll be right back. Stay tuned, please. Thank you. Thanks for staying tuned. Back to the horsey. Back to my horsey from last week's session. Right. Okay, saddle. I need to do the middle side. Yeah, it's almost done. I know that color is saddle brown. I remember that exactly. And so let's do not saddle brown anymore, but a slightly darker color. Yeah, for the seat and the trim. I did saddle brown. That's what that is. Let me find saddle brown. Christ. Okay, there's saddle brown. Well, slightly different brown. And I did use cavalry there. Can do that again. Cavalry brown. Yeah, we'll do that. Good enough. Let me shake this guy up. I'm gonna finish this horse off tonight for certain. I'll have one horse done. Right. Gosh, so much fucking that paint off. Chris Tucker, if you're still there, what was your first job? I'm just thinking about Lily. She's right now at the Olive, her first ever paying job in her life. I remember what my first job was, but I'm just kind of, what was your first job? My first job was the Fountain Cafe in Port Townsend. I was a glorified dishwasher. Okay, the saddle. I'm gonna have to do this or wash this. And I guess I'll wash it in Agrax, but I hope it's made it too dark. We'll see, of course. Only time will tell. I can overpaint this a bit because I'm gonna paint. I think I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Now observing the first rule of painting, paint towards yourself in clean strokes. Okay. And I guess, am I doing the rest of the outline in that paint as well? And that one's a different brown, I guess. Okay. Talk to myself. Smaller brush. Drink a beer. For those of you who are new to the stream, I'm a great proponent of Greyhawk campaign world, and that being the case, if you need to find a new podcast to listen to, you should listen to the Greycast podcast, the only podcast whose central topic is the world of Greyhawk. The original, one could debate, D&D fantasy setting. I say one could debate because you could talk about Dave Arneson's Blackmoor campaign as also being kind of synchronous with the origins of D&D, but that is a lot of discussion. So, okay, I'm looking at this, trying to figure out how to do this paint job, but I think I will use, yeah. Let me roll it to ya. Let me roll it to ya. I got a Wings song in my head. Wings, for God's fucking sake. This is from some playlist I had in my earphones today. Let me roll it to ya. I have a whole other fucking horse to do for this. God, this fucking horse take a long time. Okay, good lord. Yeah, I will be doing this whole thing in Agrax. Kind of tone shit down. Okay, now I needed that thing. Yeah. That. Wow. Who knew that saddles were so fucking complicated? The goddamn saddle. It's the 3.0. There's this 3.0 here. Let me roll it to you. Okay. This side. It's hard to get this guy to be really well done. Okay, there's that. Yeah, sounds like all right. Now I'm gonna do the back part of the saddle, and then the bedroll, and then the loop, and then we're pretty much done. I'm thinking. I mean, I'm gonna wash the saddle too. We'll see how that works out. Thanks everyone for being here. Appreciate it. Really do. Really do. If you want to check out our long-running Greyhawk based campaign running out of the state of Bissell in the northern Sheltamar Valley, you can go there and check that out. I'm a really dark brown there. And one more umber brown, dark brown. Check out that World Anvil page, and you can read all about our Greyhawk based campaign, character summaries, maps, 65 or so session summaries, I guess, a shit ton. I think it is the official term, shit ton. I just look at real horse saddles to see what these things fucking look like. In the real world, not just my own imagination. Okay. Now the bedroll and the strap there. I'm gonna wash it. This horse might be close to done. Close to done. Okay. Yeah, close to done. The bedroll. Well, first I'll do the strap there, and that strap there. Should be in a different color. And that color will be, I don't know, salad brown, fucking smoke. Smoke. Trying to use all the browns I have. I got a lot of browns, but I'm gonna use them all. I don't know why. It's a slightly different brown color. Yeah, it's not adhering very well at all. That's right, I'll let it work. Looks more like a wash though. That's fine. I don't mind it. I don't mind how it looks. Yep, it's fine. And now the bedroll. Maybe the bedroll should be a totally different color. Like I'm thinking green. Why not? Why not like a light green bedroll? I don't know, green sky or something like that. That'd be too fucking freaky weird. Medium olive. Medium olive. This bedroll is made medium olive. Why not? Yeah, why not? Let's see what it looks like. Catastrophes can be fixed, so it doesn't really matter. In fact, it's never a catastrophe. There's no catastrophe in mini painting that a can of spray paint can't remedy. Right? Right. Yeah, it's bedroll. Why not green? Yep, nice. Works. This bedroll, which I will wash in green. Right now I'm going to wash the top of this horsey in Agrax. I'll have the saddle stuff in Agrax. And then maybe dry brush the saddle a little bit, and we'll see how it works. I'm going to use my purchased Agrax. And we will wash it's my Corellian. I have a green wash for the saddle, the blanket. We'll do that in a second. Yeah, okay. First, we'll wash this guy. Yeah. First, Agrax on the saddle. See how this saddle how it fucking deals with a bit of Agrax. I don't know, we'll see. I think the saddle's good and done there. Now I'm going to wait a sec before I do the bedroll behind the saddle. Sorry, you can't see, but there's the horsey. Actually, I think I can do the Corellian green shade right now on it. That done too. Okay, now I need to just basically, I think the horse needs to be dry brushed. His saddle needs to be dry brushed. But there he is. So non-dry brush. So the saddle is wet looking, obviously. The dry brush the saddle and the blanket behind, but that's pretty good. And of course, we paint the base. Basic horse. Basic horse. I will dry brush that saddle. It's far too non-dry brushed. But I'm going to paint this now in Millen oil. My homemade Millen oil. As a matter of fact, before I do, please allow me a small break, and I'll be right back. I'll see you in 1 minute. Thank you. I'm back. Thank you, viewers, for staying here. Been working on horses and doors and whatnot. Right now, I'm gonna Millen oil this Fat Dragon Games double door tile, dungeon tile. Put the doors on it. Finish the horse. Maybe go on to the next horse too. This is our Wednesday night mini painting stream in Aotearoa, New Zealand. So glad to have you here. I'm gonna do a bit of Millen oil painting. My homemade Millen oil. side now. Okay. There I've got the dungeon pile done. It's going to sit around and dry for a while. So I did that with my own homemade Nuln oil, which is, well, not the real thing, but it's an approximate facsimile. Okay, that's that. And now the doors are there. That I'm going to put this right here to dry because I can't dry brush it now. This horse is done, but must be dry brushed in a moment. These doors here are done. So I guess I pretty much got that horse to work on now, because everything else I have over here on my to-do table has not been primed yet. So we're going to work on more horse flesh for the time being. Yeah, because that's not going to dry. I can dry. Yeah, I'm looking at my. Yeah, that's right. Horse flesh. Or if you're a Greyhawk First Edition player, you know the module Horse Sense. Okay. I think now maybe I have to do the hair. I'll put this horse there. The mane on this horse. You got to dry, not worry about it. That horse, right? I put the mane and stuff. Okay, mane. So I'm gonna try a different color. That's not. I'm looking at. I need a more brown color for that guy. Look at my palette here. My browns are not enough. This, I like that brown. That umber. Nah, something browner. Maybe like flat brown. Try flat brown for this horse's mane. Yeah, my homemade no does not really adhere well enough for my liking, but that's all right. Let's look that over there. Right. Gosh, yeah, this is so much pours out. Okay. Let's paint some horse mane. Sorry. My light sorted. Yeah, that's better. Okay. That's better paint, I think. Yeah. My family was home. I can hear them. I might go check out on them in a second. Friends, thanks for being here. It's our Wednesday night mini painting stream in New Zealand. We paint minis, we talk about D&D and all kinds of other stuff. Although tonight's mostly other kind of stuff, but whatever. All right, there's a horse. The main. I'm gonna check into my family. Hey, Porticage, give me a sec. I'll be right back in 1 minute. Stay tuned. I'm back. So, Porticage, how you doing? Oh, this horse. This horse, my goodness. Hmm. Fucking dog pushed my door open. Fucking dog pushing my door open. Okay, I need to get the yellow down that middle part, but then his ears too far out. I'm gonna try some trickery here. Hi, puppy. I know. Sorry, let me pause for a second. Sorry, the dog wanted to be in with me, and he's such. I'm looking at him over there. He's so needy. He's a giant white German Shepherd. I will point him out to you. There he is. Kona! Yeah. Hi. Such a needy animal. There's our horse. A plastic little horse. Not needy at all. At all. Okay. Now I'm gonna agrax his mane a bit. Alright. Do that with the other guy's black, so do not do that with this guy. Oh, wait a second. Can't dry brush those tiles yet, so I gotta wait for them. These guys, doors, wait for them. So let's just chat for a bit. Let's look on the Discord and see if any of my peeps have talked to me. No, they have not. And then fucking Abyssal people. I guess we're playing Friday. I don't fucking know. We'll see. Okay. Alright, now Agrex washing the tail and the mane and tail. I know, puppy, I know. It's hard. Part of that horsey done. He's looking pretty good. Show his tail, his mane and tail. Step back, doesn't look too bad. Yeah, okay. I guess I'll move on to the face like I did with the other one. I'll do his bridle stuff first. Maybe in a really light one, so it stands out more. How lighter now? A little bit. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. I'm talking to my dog behind me. He's stressed from the windy weather. Bridal stuff, and I will wash that. And I'm gonna do his. See if I do it this color. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Hey, no, it's all right. There's nowhere to go, dog. Okay. Good boy. Good boy. Don't worry about it. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. My dogs totally forget about the windstorm. Lie down. Good boy, good boy, good boy. All right, there's that. I'm gonna do the metal parts on him. They'll be done in whatever paint I currently have here. Okay, that. Need a bit of gray, pink. For his little nose. His little horse nose. Am I gray? Whoa. More sky gray. Over there. A touch of pink there. A little nose. Okay. Okay. Do his eyeballs still. Do yellow on this guy, but I want to dry brush this guy. Dry brush his saddle a bit. Make this saddle sing out, as they say. Okay, so a little dry brushing is going to require this kind of brush and a bit of white. That's it. Hey, that's right. I All is well, Forticage. All is well. Thanks for asking, honestly. Um, so one of my main players, a guy named Andy, who plays the gnome illusionist Brimble, he's actually moving out of the country. He's moving back to Ireland next week. So our game this weekend, which might be actually good on Good Friday, on New Zealand Friday, just because of schedules, is our last with this group live. And yeah, and so we'll see what happens to the group. I will still play D&D every Sunday, but I'm thinking about asking people to move over to first edition D&D. So we'll see. It's life. They gotta roll with the punches. Life goes on. Players come and go, etc., etc. So um, it's time. It's a chance for change, I guess, is one way I look at it. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what comes. Yeah. So I want to say this horse is done. I haven't. I need to repaint his base, but what do you think of this horse? Pretty basic as horses go, I think. Right? They're not special, but I don't know. It works. The horse, and it's always a horse. This is the one in process. His mate, who's of course not done yet, but this guy too. Thanks, man. How you been? And so you had your awesome game session, or a good battle where everyone was scared, even the barbarian. What what rule set do you use for Decage? I forget. Okay, you use 5e, new 5e, so 2024 5e or 2014 5e. I'm assuming 2024 5e. So even in 2024 5e, you're able to produce a battle scene where people are scared that they're going to die. I have not been able to do that. My players are so, I would say, min-maxy that I have not been able to force a really difficult battle scene for a long time. It was a really complicated. So how? I mean, can you talk about it on um, chat? I know I asked. I know it's difficult to talk in chat. It's just difficult to get across complex issues. It sounds like you're a good DM. Whereas in contrast, to make it easier on myself, I want to move back to first edition. Black. Fight in lava-like conditions. Okay, nice. There's the gate is open between Prime Point and Shadow Realms. So pretty much it was 6 + 1 for each element. Okay. So they had a lot of stuff to deal with besides monsters attacking them, I'm guessing, which is, yeah, Which is what I try to do. I never do it well enough, I guess. Hmm. Big old roaming around in this game, Paris and the Crystals. Yeah, it sounds like you're good at like making a complicated battle scenario. Or as I try to think I am, but I don't know. Huh. Huh. 20 AC. 28 points, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, pretty tough beastie, huh? Sounds like it. Tough beastie. Life, keep picture life, easy on. God, 800. Frick, okay. What? Holy shit, man. I don't think I've ever had a monster over 200 HP. So, Jesus, yeah, far out. That's massive HP. I mean, maybe I should do that. It's just like make sure the monsters have that kind of hit points, because otherwise my players just fucking rock their world. Seriously, just decimate them. Done. 800 hit points. So I'm trying to look at this horse somewhat neutrally. This guy here. I think I want to paint his I want to get that base done in black, so do that right now. 800 HP. Holy crap. Jesus. Air cooled lava, so if they got hit and there was no power in the platforms, it was submerged in the lava that took damage. So if they were staying on the same platform, God. Jesus. Um, how long did the battle take? I mean, not in rounds. I mean, like, you guys sitting around the table time. Huh. That they use spells over zero. They need to make check. Yeah, yeah. Wow, wow. Huh. Hey, all right, Dotms. Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for the happy bits. Appreciate it. Maybe see you this weekend, man. Happy Easter if I don't see you, but we might be playing on Easter on Good Friday. So if you're around and are bored, come on by. Thanks, man. Thanks, Adams. Huh. I was hoping that the Elves advantage when they had max looks, but that wasn't the case. He was just easier to kill. Wow, that's impressive. Seriously impressive. Man, you should stream your games, man. Okay, it's that one horse. One horse done, kind of, for the most part. Wow. Horses take a long. Took six. The fight took 6 fucking hours, spread over 2 sessions. Wow. Wow. A 6 hour fight. That is pretty hardcore. I think I've had those same kind of things, 6 hour fights. They're always hardcore, right? And you're like, fuck, we just been in a battle for 6 hours. That's what we managed to do today. Wow. I had to think about post position because it was a big. Oh, I see. Wow. Impressive. Super impressive. Okay. This horse. This horse is done. This horse to work on. Huh. Maybe I should do a little bit of highlighting on his mane there. Just a little bit. Is this guy again? Maybe. No, fuck, too much. Yeah. work that around a bit. Worked out. Yeah, okay. Leave it at that. Now I guess I need to do a little bit of highlighting on this. I need some white over here on my palette. Oh, guys, sorry if I complicate things by on the console. Damage random type. Chase last night because there was no tanking. Fight and all was engaged for all 6 hours. That's awesome. Yeah, do that, man. I'd love to see a summary. If you can get everyone engaged, like, so did the players must have figured out those things about with the crystals and the elemental and the order of things to make it less deadly. Were they trying to kind of sort that stuff out during the combat? Did they know it beforehand through some bit of lore? Or did they never figure that out? They must have figured it out, right? Okay, so they did checks. Yeah, that's super cool. Huh. Uh, okay, yeah. Been around for the crystal things. Was only one mechanic they missed that might have made the fight easier, and that they also could siphon out power from the crystals. Yeah, yeah. Oh, we get spell slots back. Yeah, I'll say that'd be fucking important, wouldn't it? Seriously. Seriously important. Okay, saddle. Saddle blankets on this guy. What would they be? This guy's his blankets are blue. That guy? I don't know. I wish I was too. The healer only had one person. Wow. Yeah. What level? What level are these guys? Good boy. Good boy. Talking to my dog. He was stressed out by the windstorm. Good boy. Good boy. Okay. If that's a blue saddle blanket, maybe I think I'm gonna go greens for that saddle blanket. Right? Greens. Maybe reds. Scrot sun. That's super red. Super red. Red. Oh, okay. Okay. See you 40 cars. Great to connect again, man. It's been a while. My schedule might be strange in the next few weeks as we change up our configuration, but keep coming back on, man. Good to talk to you. Have a good lunch and see you round two. I'm gonna paint this guy's saddle blanket. This guy here, at least, and then we'll see how I feel. I might have a piece of lasagna and go to bed. Feel good. We'll see. It's Wednesday night in New Zealand, and so tomorrow is Thursday, and Friday is Good Friday, a national holiday in New Zealand. As an American, these uber Christian holidays always weird me out, but which is strange because, of course, America is the most contradictory country in the world regarding its Christianness. Whatever. Okay. Evil Son Scarlet. Huh. A red horse blanket's good, I think. the red blanket. Now do the outside part of it. Let that dry. I'll be right back. Okay, stay tuned. Well, right. Horse painting. I'll do a second on the coat. The red on this guy. Make sure it's really nice. Welcome, friends. This is our New Zealand Wednesday night mini painting stream on the Armin channel. On New Zealand Wednesday nights, we paint minis for D&D, talk about D&D stuff, tabletop role-playing games. Here's our earlier horse we finished off. He's looking pretty horsey. All right. There he is. Working on some double dungeon doors, Fat Dragon Games tiles, which I use a lot. I'm working on a second horse right here while we kill time, while other parts of the projects are drawing. Yep. On New Zealand Sunday midday, typically, we're playing D&D. We're playing live D&D around the table with our terrain and minis in the wonderful world of Greyhawk, usually based out of the state of Bissell. You can see the Greyhawk map behind me. I can't see the edge of it. If you go to that World Anvil site, you can read character summaries, session summaries, maps, etc., etc. Over our last, I don't know, this campaign's been 2.5, 3 years. I can go back and look at that data, but I haven't done it right now. Okay, got a horse blanket. I'm now going to do my dry this off. God, can I dry the book of this shit? No, I can't. I want to dry brush this guy for that. I should put some sterling mud or some kind of paint on this base. So it's not just black, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, gotta finish this horse blanket. So use a bit lighter red for the outline part. Horse blanket. I don't know if I have any red wash. I'll have to see in a moment. Okay, this brush sucks ass. It's a 0. Is this 2 0 or 2? It's a 2. Brush sucks fucking ass. Is this 0? It's a 3 0. There's a better brush right here. Right. Hey, how come my audio's not playing? There we go. I know tavern music. How long has that been going on? That's no good. Huh. Okay, well, that's a good horse packet. I like it. Okay. Right. Do I have red wash? I don't think I really do. Might replenish shade a bit, but I don't know. No. I mean, yeah. No. Oh no, fucking right here. Yeah. Color crimson. Let's wash. I gotta wash that. But I'm gonna wash it, and then I will highlight the edges of the saddle blanket. Oh, dry brush. Yeah, this guy's ready for dry brushing in a second. Yep. Let's put the cardboard crimson on this guy. This fine brushes I got. Not as fine brushes I got, because that's too fine, but pretty goddamn fine brush. Nice. Okay. Now I can hide the bottoms of the horse blanket, I think. Yeah. And it's even lighter, lighter. There's that. Make some paint up over here, sorry. Oh. that is the horse blanket, at least for the most part. And right now, I'm gonna put the horse aside. He's not gonna get done tonight. He's getting there, but not gonna get done. I want to dry brush this guy. So I can then put them together. That's pretty okay. These doors on. There's the double doors. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? There's from that side. Look good. They went up totally nicely. Nice. That's double doors. Nice. Okay, folks. I think I might. It keeps coming undone. I think I might call it a night. It's only been a little over 3 hours, but I've got stuff to do tomorrow. I gotta get up. We all got shit to fucking do. It's New Zealand Wednesday night, so I got my Thursday day tomorrow to sort out. Cool set of dungeon doors. Finally done. A horse. Finally done. Second horse. Almost done. Yeah. Anyone to raid out there? My people been following. We got Mike Moans, he's building demons, Esmeralda's painting, JR the Nerd playing Baldur's Gate. Who's JR the Nerd? Who's JR the Nerd? GM Workshop. That doesn't need me. Who's JR the Nerd? Let's see what this is real fast before we make any judgments. Okay, he's just started playing. He's got one viewer. Let's rate into JR the Nerd, just for fun. Alright. Only 8 of us, but that's cool. Let's give JR the Nerd our love. And we'll see how it works out. Thank you for hanging out. Look forward to seeing you next time.